Today on the show, we're keeping it simple. I'm going to share the top 5 lessons I've learned over the years training with asthma. Throughout my life, my athletic focus has changed. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with soccer. And when I was told at 4 years old that because I had asthma, I wouldn't be able to play soccer, I was devastated. And I figured out a way to train to play soccer for as long as I could. Then I became a big cyclist because my dad has always been a big cyclist, and we would ride bikes together. And he would tell me about these amazing 50, 60, 70, 80, 100-mile rides that he would do. And that excited me, and I wanted to do that. I became a mountain biker because I liked taking the bike off-road and being in nature, see animals, be in a more natural environment. I become obsessed with fitness, high-intensity interval training, yoga sculpt, just yoga flow. And ultimately, as you may know me, as I am an elite ultra runner with asthma, and that's where I am today. But throughout the years, I've gone through different versions of myself as an athlete with asthma, and I'm excited to share the lessons I've learned along the way with you today. Lesson 1, exercise is my superpower. When I was a kid, I was told exercise would be the hardest thing I do in my life. I'd always have to have my inhaler with me. Not just with me, because you should always have your inhaler with you, no matter what, exercise, non-exercise, always have your inhaler with you. But I'd have to use it every time. I'd have to use it before, during, and after. But exercise has become my superpower because it has empowered me to naturally strengthen my lungs. And I wish that for you as well. Now, I'm not a healthcare professional, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a medical worker. So I highly recommend you consult with your doctor, your healthcare specialist. I have a disclaimer in the show notes below as well. But exercise has been a superpower for me. Exercise has given me strength. It's given my lung strength. It's given me confidence. It has made me who I am today. This is lesson 1. And now I run 100K ultras, compete, and actually win them, and I never touch my inhaler. And that's really because lesson number 2 is I learned to train with progressive overload. You can apply it to anything, but really it's when you progressively increase what you're doing. That could be the intensity, distance. Instead of using my inhaler before soccer practices, I would wait until I actually needed it. Instead of using my inhaler as a crutch, I gave myself an opportunity to progressively overload my lungs so they could get stronger and stronger and stronger. So what this looked like is I would start a soccer practice. I would not use my inhaler, but I'd have it with me. I'd have it in my pocket. And after 5-10 minutes of practice, if I felt asthmatic symptoms coming on, I would take some puffs of my inhaler. Then the next practice, I would try and wait a little longer. Instead of 5 to 10 minutes, I'd wait 10 to 15 minutes. And then over time, over a matter of weeks, months, years, I got to a point where my lungs were strong enough where I didn't need my inhaler. Now, I'd still have it with me, and I'd find that if I'm sick or eating dairy, some substance or environmental factor that causes more inflammation in my body, it may cause some asthmatic symptoms to come up, then I may need my inhaler, and that's why I always have it with me. But I progressively overloaded my lungs over the years in order to do what I'm able to do today. It wasn't just me waking up one morning and being able to run 100 kilometers or more. No, I progressively have overloaded not just my lungs, but my entire body, going from back in 2021, never really running more than 4 to 6 miles at a time, to running 60 plus miles at a time. It took me 10,000 plus miles on my legs and on my lungs to get to this point. It's all progressive overload. you can do the same thing. This empowers you to have strong, powerful lungs. Progressive overload empowers you to do anything in life. You could do this with other goals outside of exercise goals, outside of developing your lungs. This could be progressively getting better at cooking. You just slowly try more and more complicated recipes. This could be progressively getting better at work, just becoming more and more efficient. Progressive overload is the key to overcoming limitations and becoming the athlete and person you want to be. Another example with running is, let's say you've never ran before. Well, I always recommend to anyone who hasn't ran before to start by walking. And to start by walking a mile, then walk 2 miles, walk 3 miles. Then if you want to start integrating running, once you feel like you're okay with it, what you can do is walk, run. So you can start by walking a little bit, warming up, and then try running for a 1/10 or a 1/4 mile. Then walk, then run, then walk, then run. And then progressively, as you do this more and more, you increase the amount of time that you're running versus walking. Then eventually you'll get to a point where you'll be running a full mile, a full 2 miles, a full 3 miles. To this day, when I'm hitting a new distance, I walk part of the run. Every elite ultra runner walks at some point in their race. Maybe it's because they're in an area that has a lot more vertical feet, or they need to bring their heart rate down, or maybe they're walking because we need to eat and you're still moving forward and we're fueling ourselves. But walking is part of running, part of becoming an elite runner. If you want to become a runner, I highly recommend you start by walking and then integrating running here and there, and then building it up to where you are running a full mile, 2 miles, and then a 5K, 10K, half marathon, marathon, and beyond. Lesson 3. Audible exhales are a superpower. Someone trolled me on the channel recently where they're like, hey, you need to cite your sources. Here's the thing. Just Google this, put this into ChatGPT, put this into your favorite search engine or fact checker. Audible exhales. The louder your audible exhale, the more efficient your body is with energy output. It's just how it goes. And I've seen this over and over in my life. There's multiple reasons for it. For me, this empowers me not only to increase my energy output, but to manage my asthma. So when I'm running, when I played soccer, when I hike, when I bike, when I focus on powerful audible exhales and making them loud, I'm pushing more CO2 out of my body. I'm opening my lungs up to receive oxygen. The sound allows my brain to focus on something other than the discomfort in my body. It gives your brain a sound to focus on so that you can center yourself. Loud audible exhales has empowered me to not only win ultra races where I was chasing down the future second place male. He's at first place at this time. And I got into the zone with my audible exhales while listening to one of my favorite songs. I caught him 7 miles from the finish line of a 100K race. When I was in the zone for the rest of the race, I was focusing on my audible exhales. I've been able to beat road bikers to the top of this hill by my house by focusing on my audible exhale. I'm running, they're road biking, I've been able to catch and beat them. It freaks everyone out when you pass them and you're breathing like this, because it's intimidating, but it is actually working. It is a superpower. It increases your energy output and helps me manage my asthma. Number 4. I have learned that what I eat has a direct impact on my asthma. So food equals asthma symptoms or lack of asthma symptoms. What I've found over the years, and this also came about because I have various food allergies. Growing up, I had severe allergic reactions to peanuts. I've had reactions to dairy where I feel more mucus in my system. I've felt the inflammatory effects of alcohol where there's more inflammation in my body. When I focus on eating foods that don't create inflammation, my asthma symptoms feel better. Exercise feels better. Progressive overload, I'm able to do better. My audible exhales are better. When I focus on eating foods that are anti-inflammatory, I feel even better. So food has a direct impact on my asthma symptoms. So what I've done is I've decreased foods that are inflammatory in my diet, and I've highly increased foods that are anti-inflammatory, and I've gotten some amazing results in my training. When it comes to allergies and sensitivities, there are foods that are technically inflammatory and anti-inflammatory, but you may have an allergy or a sensitivity that changes this. For example, I was taking a run and I had just had some asparagus before the run. As I got deeper into the run, I started feeling asthma symptoms come on. I was breaking out. My face was swelling up. All of a sudden, I'm allergic to asparagus. I figured this out because a week later I had some asparagus again. Same thing happened. Asparagus is technically an anti-inflammatory food. Check with your healthcare professional and figure out, hey, even though there's a baseline of foods that are fried, alcohol, sugar, these things are going to create inflammation in your body. That's the baseline. Those are inflammatory foods. Foods like broccoli, spinach, arugula, fruits and vegetables are anti-inflammatory. Doesn't mean that there might be a specific food that has a different impact on you and your body. Lesson 4, I have learned that food directly impacts how I feel on a day-to-day basis and my asthma symptoms. And lesson 5, consistency is key. So, consistency with all of this is key. Consistent exercise, progressively overloading, always aiming to be better, to get better. If we take a break, a week off from working out, maybe starting a little lower, but we always are working to get better. Consistently using my loud audible exhales, and then consistently eating anti-inflammatory foods and avoiding inflammatory foods. But really, what I really mean here with consistency is, I find if I take time off from exercising, which I rarely do, but if I take a week off or a month off, even when I take a little bit of time off, a couple days off when I'm sick, I'll feel asthma symptoms come on. If I take a couple days off and I eat dairy or something inflammatory, I feel more mucus and the impact on my lungs. So consistency in doing all of these things, consistency in your training, consistency in these things and managing your asthma, it's key to becoming an elite person, an athlete with asthma. Now, it's a bonus for spending time with me. I have a gift for you, my 3 Pillars of Healthy Living Guide. I created these 3 pillars to empower you to live a healthier life. If you weigh more than you wish you did, it's going to empower you to take control of your weight and not only lose it, but keep it off. I actually weighed about 40 pounds overweight in 2022. I was a runner at the time. I was still doing what I'm doing now. I definitely wasn't as elite as I am now. I needed 3 pillars of healthy living to change my life. Lose 40 pounds, keep it off, and live healthier. So the 3 pillars are movement, so exercise. That's pillar number 1, which is consistent exercise or movement. Pillar number 2 is tracking. So actually keeping track of these things, tracking our food, making sure that we're eating anti-inflammatory foods, avoiding inflammatory foods. And the 3rd pillar is accountability. So working with someone that can help you stay accountable for your goals, for what you're tracking, for your purpose. My 3 pillars of healthy living, I teach you step by step how to integrate them into your life. It's going to take you less than 2 minutes to read. You can grab my guide in the show notes or go to www.athletewithasthma.com/healthy-living-guide to grab your free copy today. And I'll see you in the next episode.